Good morning. It is day 28 of 30 days of live stream storytelling that I have been doing over the past 30 days, really 27 days now. And we are on day 28. And so, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is a personal challenge for me, and it has been extremely eventful. I am a little tired this morning. I was traveling over the weekend. And I woke up this morning like, child, girl, we want to stay in the bed. But I'm up. I'm up. And so, good morning to those of you who are here. Good morning, Ramilda. How are you, lovey? Good morning. I'm going to have to give you a big extra hug when I see you for hanging tight with me these last 30 days. Like, listen, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, lovely Gigi. Good morning. I see y'all. I am sharing. We're live on Facebook, TikTok, and I added YouTube again today. So we'll see who pops in to join us, who's there. But I am, let's see, good morning. I'm sharing on Facebook. So let me share also here on TikTok in my stories. And I'm going to share here on I am tired. I am. Like I woke up this morning, I intentionally set my alarm for 7:15 and then I snoozed it and then I woke up at about 7:24. I do have some tea here. This mug is hot, so I'm probably going to have to drink it like this. Mm. And it's good too. This is a strawberry peach green tea. Love the wraps. Popping colors on you. Thank you so much, Kay Taylor. Good morning. Hey, Adrian. Good morning. Let's see, we are now. I'm excited about sharing today. Today is what I'm working on now and next. And I feel like I will have to do this like once a month, right? Like, what do we have going on now? How you can work with me, like all that kind of stuff. So, let me first say that I really, really, really appreciate this challenge. And I can say that I'm probably not going to continue after day 30 going live every day at 8 a.m. Like, I think those days are over. And I'll tell you why. Because my capacity for my clients, like my communities, my private clients, I have to make sure that I have that. And I don't see myself, and I have 21 days of prayer coming up in 2 months. I don't foresee myself continuing that and doing 21 days of prayer and going live every week for Tuesday Tea with D. And so here's my challenge to you all is to show up live with me every Tuesday for Tuesday Tea with D. If I do go live, I'll let y'all know when I'm going live, but make sure that you join me, right? Where I'm already going live. Make sure you are a part of my communities. Now, I will say, and I don't necessarily know when it's going to happen, I think I'm going to switch my free Facebook group from Facebook to school because I don't like that I'm sharing messages and nobody sees my messages. I don't like that I have to always continue to at everyone for at least 2 or 3 people to see it. And so be on the lookout for that. I would ask that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. That if you're on TikTok and you're here, follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Facebook if you're here on Facebook. Make sure you follow me on my business page and my personal page. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, wherever I am, LinkedIn, so that we can stay connected. And then also, I'm going to put in the chat, and it's not on my page, but I love for you to also join my text community so that you can get notifications via text as well. And so I'll share those throughout the day, but well, throughout our time here. But the biggest asset I'm going to say is to stay connected where I'm already like showing up, right? Um, I have, and I'm going to talk about this in 1 second. Let me see. Good morning. Share this in my Facebook group, and then we can get started. But yes, I am tired. I'm not even gonna act like I'm not tired. Good morning, son. Morning. I'm literally not gonna act like I'm not tired. I am tired, and but I'm here. Did you mention the kind of tea you had this morning? I did. This is a strawberry. I don't have it with me, but it is a strawberry peach tea, green tea. And here's the thing: I made this tea on Friday to take with me on the trip, and I never even got a chance to. I never even got a chance to drink it, and I drank some of it. And here's the thing: the cup that I had it in, the thermos, the I don't know, whatever it was. It's a water bottle, but it's it keeps things hot and cold. It was still warm, but I wanted it hot, and I love the fact that I love for tea to steep. So it's been steeping since Friday. So the taste is rich, but it is a strawberry peach mango tea. I also have to think about, excuse me, what teas I'm going to bring. I was actually for you all to try. And I have to think about what I brought last year and see if I want to bring any of those. I definitely know when Adri was on here, the Sunday brunch was one of the ones to bring. And maybe if there's some that I have, maybe I'll put it in the community and see like if there's some that like y'all really liked from last year you want me to bring back but yeah. So, but that's my ask before we even jump into like what we got going on. Let me open this up so I can see the people, which is y'all, as you all are sharing. I'm gonna pull this over some. All right. I need this over just a little bit more here. All right. So let's talk about what we have going on. So today's conversation is around what's next for me and what I'm working on. And I started to say like, well, why is that relevant? Well, because I think it's relevant because hold on, let me pull this up. So it's relevant because it's important for you to know what I have going on and know what I have that can support you, right? Like I think that's the biggest thing is being able to know, right, what I have that's available to you as my people. And so I'm literally just kind of going to go over. So I'm going to go over what's next. And then I'm going to go over like what I'm working on and talk a little bit about like what is happening in 2026 because I'm already planning that. It's already like in the works. But I will again say thank you to y'all for just hanging tight and joining me every single day. Even if you watch the replay, let me say hey girl, hey boo, hey to all of my replay watchers, specifically on Facebook, because I know TikTok you all can't watch the replay, but because there is no replay. But I appreciate you all, whether y'all are popping in to say hey, whether you're watching later, whether you're sharing. I appreciate you. I cannot believe that we're down to the last 2 days, tomorrow and Tuesday. And so yeah. So good morning, Adriana. How are you, living? So let's talk, right? So what's next for me and what do I have coming up? Lots of goodies, right? So first thing is next Saturday, November 15th, 11 a.m. Good morning, Dr. Elijah. How are you? Thank you for joining. Next Saturday here in Buffalo, I'm doing a sit, soak, and seek. That is my prayer and worship experience. And so she said this was one of my consistency goals. I love that for you, Romilda. I'm so glad that this was part of your consistency goal. So we've been talking about being consistent, y'all. And so She's literally been with me every single day live, every single day. And I'm sure there have been others, but she literally is the first to pop in. Good morning, Jackie. How are you? I love you. Are you going to Aruba? Please say yes. Um, so I'm hosting a sit, soak, and seek, right? Next Saturday. It is a prayer and worship experience. I did about 4 of those last year. And I was so busy this year that I did not get a chance to, me too. I did not get a chance to do them. And so the Lord has been on me about them because I was supposed to do one in July and one in October, and I didn't. And so I'm like, I got to do at least one before we close out. And so I'll just give you a little overview of what a sit, soak, and seek is. My girls from I Speak Life Live have had an opportunity to experience this where basically this is not like prayer service, or it's not like a worship service where people are worshiping or, praying, where there's somebody who's leading it. I have curated a worship. Good morning, cousin. I've curated a worship playlist that I play prophetic worship music throughout the day, and not the day, but the time. And those who come just come to sit in the presence of the Lord, to pray, to lay before him. They bring their prayer shawls, they bring blankets, they bring their journals, they bring their Bibles, and we just set the atmosphere for God to show up and God to speak. And I understand that if you are a pastor, a leader in ministry, if you are a worshiper, a worship leader, if you are a musician, psalmist, all of those, sometimes you don't get a chance to do what everybody else is doing. And so the Lord gave that to me last year, and I didn't necessarily know if I was going to do it again. And I feel like this is now going to be something that I'm going to do on a quarterly basis locally here. And so that is happening next Saturday. No, well, this coming Saturday, November 15th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That is, I don't stream that. Um, that the sit soak and seeks are intimate and personal, and so you got to come and you have to be in the room in order to access those. The next thing that I have that's coming up, many of you already know, is my I Speak Life Live empowerment experience for women of faith, December 5th, 6th, and 7th. And that is happening in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And so tickets are on sale until Friday. I was already going to close registration, but the hotel has given us a day until Thursday, I believe. She said next week, so I don't know if that's Thursday or Friday, but they've given us time to for people who still want to register and get in the room, or who have already registered and want to get a hotel. And so, if you're interested in joining us, registration. If you go to, I'll put this link in down in here. You can go to my website, I Speak Life Live, but I'm putting in my Beacons link so that you all can access that. If you go to my link in bio on TikTok, everything is there. But I'm putting this here in on Facebook and on YouTube so that they have access to that as well. Um, and so most of all that I'm talking about is going to be there. And then some of what I'm talking about is not there yet, right? Because it hasn't happened yet. And so the big thing around what I'm working on now is my event. Um, Gifts, my pens just came in. I love these pens. I was writing just to see if they write good, because sometimes I get a pen and I'm like, I don't really know if I like this. And if I like it, so this one I like, I might continue to use. This one I only used for 1 year. I showed these last time. This was, and to be honest, there was a little thing on it, and you could tell that I used it. It came off. This was my very first pen. And then I switched to these pens, and they don't have these anymore. But I also don't like these because they write weird. Like, they don't, sometimes the ink goes out. And so this was also a pen, which I really liked this pen, but I don't think they have this anymore. And so now we've moved on to this pen. And so hopefully, and I know people like the pens with the stylus. So So ordering all the gifts, the pens, we do pom poms, and we it's all kinds of things, right? So I'm ordering all of those things. I'm updating the workbook. I'm confirming food for my VIPs, and then even snacks for like everybody else. Figuring out what to wear, figuring out what to do with my hair. I think I'm gonna get my hair braided so that I don't have to worry about her this time. And I just she need a break and I need a break, right? I call her wisdom. Wisdom needs a break and I need a break. So we're doing that. What else do I have? I have to order my hoodies. Those of you who are coming, if you do not yet have your I Speak Life shirt, you can still order that. I've reminder emails that have to go out. Every year I do a playlist that the ladies get access to. So I'm working on a 2025 playlist. And I just decided this morning that I'm going to extend, which I think it's expired, but I'm going to go in and extend it, registration um until Friday for 447. And so if you want to join us, you have until Friday, and I may even do Thursday. Once I confirm the hotel, it's going to expire when the hotel expires, just because but maybe till Friday, we'll see. That's neither here nor there. But you can register for 447. This is not something that I have made public, but I'm making it public this week. If you have someone that you want to attend with, and I'm going to work on adding this back to the sales page today. It is not there right now, but it will be. Is I'm going to do a BOGO. So regular registration is $7.97, and so if you want to get in the room and you have somebody who you can come with, you can come. It's a BOGO offer, which would amount to $398.50. All you got to do is pay the $7.97 and bring somebody with you. It's literally register and bring somebody for free. You can either come by yourself for $447, or you can come with someone for $398.50. So I literally this morning was like, you know what, child, it ain't no sweat off my back at this point because I'm closing registration. And right now there are 42 women who are coming. And so if nobody else registers, my focus is on them right now. Why am I telling you this? And again, like I asked before when I was looking at this, and I was like, why is this relevant? It's relevant because if you have a service, or if you work with people, or if you have a business, you can, let me see here, you can, you need to be telling people about it, right? I'm trying to decide on what I'm going to do right here. I'm looking at something and I'm just deciding on if I'm going to push a button or not. And so, what do you have going on that you're not telling people about in your business, specifically your ministry, your nonprofit, right? Why don't people know about it? And it's interesting because the Lord has been talking to me about how I used to push my girls program all the time, like all the time. And even like with our annual planning, like there's certain things that I used to do, like we would work, it was like clockwork. And so I'm now, and it's interesting because the Lord would be telling me, He says, why do you act like you really don't know what you're doing? Because sometimes I'd be like, man, like I don't know. He's like, it's like it's the same. It's just one was a nonprofit and one was a business. Now, mind you, there are some things that are different, right? But the planning, creating the budgets, like making sure, and granted, it's just me right now with my event director, but still, why do you act like you don't know the things? And so it's important to be able to share people. So I'm telling you this, right? And so it's a reminder for me, again, not to wait to the last minute. And so whether it's ministry related, like a sit, soak, and seek, or like 21 days of prayer, which is coming up, or whether it is business related, right? Business related, like I Speak Life Live coming up in December in Myrtle Beach, or one-on-one coaching for me, to work with me, or my Sabbath retreat. And so these are some of the things that are going to be coming up next that I'm going to talk about. But I want to sprinkle this in that, like, what do you have that you're not sharing with people? And it could be the message of Jesus, right? That's a whole nother conversation. But what is it that you have that you're not sharing? right? If you know, specifically to those of you, how many people who are watching, because it's, you have a business or a nonprofit or you have something that you know you should be working on. Good morning, Angela. How are you, lovey? That you know you should be promoting or you should be promoting more, but you're not promoting as much as you should, right? Just let me know in the chat. I want to know. Um, and basically, all I'm going to say to you is, Romilda says me, is start talking about your stuff, right? If you already, some of you already have your stuff together. Some of you already, even if it's something as simple as, inviting people. Like I know Adri is a brand influencer, social media influencer. And so you should be sharing your content. Like you should be sending people to your content. You should be talking to people, resharing, sharing in your stories. Um, like what does it look like to really put yourself out there? What does it look like for you to really be sharing your stuff? And here's my thing. This is a thing that I'm learning now is it's one thing to share things that motivate people, and it's another thing to share things that get people to actually work with you. And so I had to sit with myself around that because sometimes we share stuff just to share it, and it's really not, I won't say it's not helpful, but it's not helpful to you, right? And so for me, in this season, coming out of 2025 going into 2026, every piece of content that I share is going to be intentional. It's going to lead somebody somewhere, whether it is to my free mini masterclass, to 21 days of prayer, to sit, soak, and seek, to I Speak Life Live, to Tuesday Tea with D. Do y'all see where I'm going with this? Whatever it is, to my what did God say apparel, like it's got to be leading to, it's now granted everything won't be right. So this weekend we went to the Ty Tribbett concert and we had an amazing time, and I shared, so like I'm not going to be so stoic to the point of where, but I think that it really let me see this here, child, because over that person, I'm sorry, I had somebody on YouTube who was literally just talking, and I don't have patience this morning because I'm tired. And so I'm not here because I don't want to get fined. I'm actually here because I want to be here. But last night I was exhausted and I was here because I didn't want to get fined. And that's just my way of saying I'm keeping my word, right? But how are you showing up in this season for you, for your business? Right? Let me take this to a personal level. How intentional are you with telling people what you need and what you want? How intentional are you with making it known, hey, this is what I need in this season? Hey, I can't do that, or can you do this, or can you please not do that anymore? Like, what does it look like to start really advocating for yourself in a way that really benefits you as opposed to appeasing the other person or whatever? That's not working for me. I can't do that. At starting to ask questions, right? So the only way you can, and let me go back a little bit because we've talked a little bit around some of this, but I think it's important, excuse me, for you to be clear. Like when I'm looking at this, like what's next and what are you working on? Sometimes, and we're going to work on this, not this specifically, but this, and at I Speak Life Live, is you only can really ask for what you want if you know what you want. You can only really tell people what's going on if you know what's going on. And so I already have my 2026 planner. I got my little things. I do this every year, right? My incubator ladies get one of these. We've done black in the past, but this green is back and I love it. And so they'll probably will get green this year versus the black one that we've used for the past. I don't know. Same planner, just different color. But like I only know what I have going on if I've already planned it. And so for some of you, it is going to be important, whether you have a business or not, is to be able to know what you have going on in your life. So that not one, you can tell people about it, but also so that you can be in a space where you can limit boundaries, right? Not limit boundaries, but enforce those boundaries, create those boundaries. Does that make sense to y'all? I'm going to continue to tell y'all what we got going on, what I have going on here, because it's good stuff and it's a lot. And I'm going to try to be done. It's going to be more than I'm going to say about 45 minutes, right? Give me till about 8:45. All right. So these are all the things that I have going on right now. I have to decide what teas to bring for I Speak Life Live. And so what else do I have coming up? So out of my I Speak Life Live, I also invite people to work with me in my incubator, which is my high level coaching program. And so I'm also working on that. I'm working on updating the website, making sure all of the payment links work, looking at the emails. And so I think it's also important for those of you watching that over time, like not just knowing what you're doing, but how it's going to work is also important. And so for me, making sure the links work, making sure the automation for the emails works, making sure that, like my testimonies are up to date, making sure like all of the things, I'm doing that for the incubator. And then also the goal this year is to be intentional around promoting that after the event for December and January, because we start in February. And so that is a 9-month high level coaching program around strategy, accountability, and coaching. And that starts at 5,500. And um so I'm working on that, right? The other thing I'm working on for I Speak Life Live is also I Speak Life Live 2026, because that is also where I reveal next year's location and I open up pre-sale registration. So let me say this to you. If you miss this year and you know you're not going to be able to join us this year, there will be an opportunity for you to get in either right at the end of the year or right at the beginning of the year. Why is that important? Because I'm giving you a year in advance to get in the room and figure it out for next year, right? I normally do a 4 or a 5 pay payment plan so that you can stretch it out. Some people just go all in and just pay it. Other people will go on ahead and do the payment plan, right? Whatever works for you. And so that also is what I'm working on, right? Simultaneously, I just have already signed contracts for all 3 of my events that are happening in 2026. And I paid some of the deposits, and then I think I have one more deposit. I'm actually waiting on them to send me some information on what that's going to look like. But I'm working on that for I Speak Life Live. Right. The theme for this year is breaking barriers. So I didn't put that there. I'm also in prayer. I'm going to heavily be fasting over these next 3 weeks to make sure that I'm hearing what I need to hear for the women in the room. And so I'm going to be studying and really just, asking the Lord like what it is that the ladies need. And so that's also what I'm working on. January 1st. So once we come out of, so November is Sit, Soak, and Seek. December is I Speak Life Live. I'll also be launching, and once I launch enrollment for the incubator in December and January, it's an application only. If you're not in the room for I Speak Life Live, you have to apply to be a part of the incubator, because I need to make sure you're a good fit. Not only for me, but for the ladies who are going to be in it, because they've already been immersed in my teaching. So like if you've been with me here like these 30 days, just imagine what it's like being in the room with me for 3 days, teaching, imparting, all that kind of stuff. So kind of like what the framework is. But if you have not been in the room, then I need to have a conversation with you, right? I need to talk to you. And so that will be application only. So I'll be doing that January and February, in December and January, but starting January 1st, we'll be doing 21 days of prayer. From January 21 days of prayer and fasting from January 1st to January 23rd, 23rd to 21st, the 1st through the 21st. As I stated a couple days ago, that um, I'm probably going to move it from 10 p.m. to 9 p.m. because, girl, because unless the Lord say no, keep it at 10 o'clock, because it's been at 10 o'clock since we started. Um, but some days, child, I'll be ready to go to bed at 9 o'clock. Do you hear me? I'm just at that age, right, where now I do stay up, and once we get going, it's on. but I'm in prayer around that. And so you will probably start to see things for 21 days of prayer, either a little bit before or after I Speak Life Live. I probably will start talking about some of that now. That then we start, and the incubator runs from February to October. So I will probably be taking some time to rest after 21 days of prayer to prepare for the incubator. And then I will, once we start, technically I don't have much going on in March or April. I actually am traveling to a conference in April, but that's not related to me. But May is when I'm hosting my Sabbath retreat. And so my event director and I are working on that as we speak. I have the location, but I'm just working on the details, the pricing. And so I technically shouldn't, I'm working on, that's something I'm working on like right now, because I want to put it out there so people who want to participate can participate, and if whether they want to pay in full or whether they want to use the payment plan, they can do one or the other, right? And so probably around December you'll probably start seeing save the dates this month, and then December you'll probably start seeing information around how you can, be a part of it, right? There are only 10 spots. This is a intimate intimate retreat. It's called the Sabbath retreat, and 10 spots available. It's May 14th through the 18th, 2026. And then I also, that same month, there will be my incubator. So my incubator ladies, we do a in-person intensive in May and September. This year we did it the first week of October because the scheduling was a little wonky. But I'm hoping to have all of that planned before we start in February, or at least around like March, of knowing like where we're going to be, what hotel we're going to be at. And so they come and spend 2 days with me, really like 2.5. They come in Friday and we spend Saturday and Sunday. They kind of get their own little mini I Speak Life live with me. And that's a smaller group as well. And so I'll be doing that in May. And then the next thing we'll be doing in July is my community girls trip for paid community members. So if you're part of my inner circle, which I'll talk about in a second, if you're a part of my incubator, or if you are attending the event, like you're not a part of any of those, but you're attending the event in December, then you qualify to go on our community girls trip next year in July. And so I have already revealed that to my inner circle and my incubator ladies on our last call. And I shared the details in the group so that they know where we're going. But everyone else won't know until after the new year. I probably will reveal that at I Speak Life Live, but I probably won't reveal it until the new year, to be honest. Um, then the other thing, what I'm working on is my inner circle. And so that is my mentorship, my membership, and my mentorship community. And so the one thing that I am working on for Q1 is adding 25 new members. The goal really has been to increase the numbers for and to increase the numbers to 100. So I'm in prayer with the Lord around what that looks like each quarter to add 25 new people. Um, so I have been really in prayer around asking the Lord if I have been, and I have been, I'm just going to be honest, the bottleneck in my community, because I don't want to lose the intimacy, but I also know that there are women who need what we have in the inner circle. And so really figuring out what that looks like so that as women come in, they don't feel, lost or invisible. And so I've been in prayer around just how to support the women as they come in, and even possibly having help to support the women as they come in. Um, Obviously they can, everyone won't be as active, but I do know that there are people who need to know more about the inner circle, which again is the reason why I know that this specific day is important for me, because I think even just popping in and talking to people live about what I have going on is important. because you just need to know and you need to hear it from me, right? And so it's not anything like heavily motivational or inspirational, but it's informational, right? It is for your information. So and so again, my inner circle is my membership and my membership and my mentoring community, and we meet twice a month, every other Tuesday, on the second and fourth Tuesday, at 8 p.m. And then we also just have a community, an online community. They get discounts to my master classes. Um, they will be getting early access to, like, if I have any other events or different things that are going on. And so, like, for example, if they knew about my sit soak and seek before I put it out there, so certain things they know, obviously they will get access to, the community girls trip. And so but it is a way to stay connected. And so if you've like been enjoying me, for these last 30 days, and you're like, I want to stay connected, that might be your next step, right? Is getting happy Sunday, Chantel. How are you, sis? That might be the next step for you, right? Is my inner circle. That is the lowest way, and I say lowest, I'm talking cost of connecting with me. It's $47 a month or $470 for the year. Um, and so, like I said, outside of me just going live and outside of, me sharing like in my Facebook groups, that's the best way, right, from a paid perspective. And obviously my incubator is the high level, right? And then after my inner circle, the next thing, and I've already talked about this, is I Speak Life Live in December. And so I don't know the dates, the quarterly dates for the Sit Soak and Seeks. So I will, obviously keep you all posted. But if you're local and you want to participate, she says we need a Sit Soak and Seek in North Carolina. You know what? It's enough of y'all. Um, I would just need to find a location. And it would have to be purposeful. So um I would have to do maybe like a meetup, and um I'd have to figure that out. Um but yeah, but I could totally, it's enough of y'all there. I think, like I said, I think it's like at least, and that's just the people who come into I Speak Life Live. Um but I know other people who are in like North and South Carolina, where, you know, he says I have several locations. Yeah. So yeah, so we might do that and do maybe like a little mini pop-up in North Carolina where I could also do, and so on a side note, I have been thinking about, it's funny you say that, Stephanie, and this is not anything that I will do, but I have been thinking about doing like a little mini I Speak Life Live tour. And so Charlotte area, North Carolina area is one of the areas because I do know I have people there. The DMV area is also another area. And these are people where I have, I think, anywhere between 5, 10, 15 people where like I know they could bring us, and we might do like it before like 20 or 25 people, whatever. And just do a pop-up, and it would be kind of like a prelude to I Speak Life Live. Obviously I could do one here because this is where my base is, but I definitely have been thinking about that. And so I'll be in prayer, because as we have talked about prior to this, everything that sounds like a good idea may not be something that is meant for me to do, because I also have to honor my capacity of where I am, right? Excuse me. However, like I said, I do know it's a lot of y'all. There's like 80 y'all coming to the event, and there's still others who are not coming to the event that I'm sure I don't know about, right? Um, so so that's that. So yeah, so we definitely could maybe do like a little, I could do a pop-up. And so we could do maybe a sit, soak, and seek, and then I could do like a half day of something. My line sister is there, my best friend Nia is in Charlotte, and so I definitely would come. And she has a company called Note and Accord. And so this is a shameless plug for my BFF. If you are in the Charlotte or Raleigh area, Durham, Raleigh area, she also has a new location where they will be open. Grand opening is happening this Friday, November 14th. Um, and so it's called Note and Accord. Let me say that, Note and Accord. Let me just, because I'm gonna put this in the chat. So this is specifically for my North Carolina people, because it's a lot of y'all that be watching. And Chantel, are you in Charlotte or Durham or Raleigh? Where are you at? If you're still here. I think y'all would love this. Put this in here. She is in Charlotte and now she will be in Durham. And so those of you who are on TikTok, you all won't be able to see that, but I'm just going to take this and put this here as well. So that you all can see it. But it's basically, it's a bespoke fragrance company where you can go and create your own body oils, your own signature fragrance, and it's amazing. It's amazing. It is it's beautiful. So take a look at that. But that's my shameless plug for my BFF. So you all can see that. So I'm gonna get ready to head off in a couple minutes, but I'm going to do a recap of what we talked about today. And today really is just talking about what I'm working on, and what's next, right? And so what I'm currently working on right now is Sit, Soak, and Seek for November 15th. It's 11 to 1. It's here. If you want to attend, come and join us. It's at Cross Nation Church, 550 Genesee, 14214. I'm working on my live event, which is December 5th, 6th, and 7th in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. You can go to I Speak Life Live in order to get details on that. I'm also working on I Speak Life Live 2026 because I need those details to share when I get to I Speak Life Live 2025, because I always introduce the location and I give them an opportunity to get in the room first. Correct? All right. I'm planning all the things, right? So all the things that I'm working on, just planning I Speak Life Live. I won't get into all of that. The next thing that I'm working on is 21 Days of Prayer, which is happening January 1st through the 21st. I have my incubator. So enrollment will also happen at I Speak Life Live. And then people can apply from December to January to get in for when we start in February. Also, Sabbath Retreat is happening May 14th through the 18th. My community girls trip, which I didn't share, is July 10th through the 12th. And I'm going to be promoting my inner circle, my membership, and my mentorship. And so this is really also accountability, that the goal is to bring in 25 new members for quarter 1, which is January, February, and March. And then the last thing is that's happening is I Speak Life Live 2026 is December 4th, 5th, and 6th, 2026. And so that is what's going on in this world. Obviously, other things happening behind the scenes. I'm probably going to be doing quarterly Sit, Soak, and Seeks here. I'm going to be in prayer around taking this show on the road, doing like a little mini I Speak Life Live tour. Last year, the year before that, I launched something called the Prelude, and it didn't go the way I wanted to. But I also didn't launch it in a way that like I knew I could. So I think the Prelude is going to be the tour if I do it. And it'll definitely be Charlotte. It'll definitely be the DMV area. And then I'll have to figure out like if it'll just be like Charlotte, DMV, and then like Rochester, Western New York, or also maybe like because I have people in like Jersey, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, Pittsburgh, Philly, that area. So we'll see. I don't have a whole lot of people in that area, but I feel like they could probably come to the DMV. So we'll see. Um, and I think that's it. The Sit, Soak, and Seeks, the Prelude. And that's it. And so that's kind of, and then, on a personal level, I'm working at just being more intentional with, my health. I'm working on being more intentional with exercising. I really have to get a better regimen. And so now that my 30 days of live stream will end on Tuesday, I think I'm going to start picking back up walking, after I drop my son off to school. As I had shared before, I don't think that this is going to continue because I'm a lot more wise and I'm a lot more mindful of my capacity, which means that it's not realistic for me to go live every single day, to also go live every single Tuesday, and then also plan to go live every single day for 21 days of prayer. And so let that be a lesson to you around what sounds good, but may not necessarily be real good for you because of what you have going on. Know your capacity, know your limit. If you miss that masterclass, I believe it's still up in my link in bio. I'm actually having issues with uploading it. But even if you register, when you register, you'll be added to the list, tagged to be added to the list that when I send out the replay, you'll have access to the replay. I probably won't be doing that again anytime soon or at all, unless the Lord says that what I did on Thursday, take it, do what you need to, and but you have to know your limit, right? You got to know your limit. You got to be able to know your capacity. You got to be able to know what you can and can't do. And here's the thing, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. And I think that we get caught up in that because we think, oh, I can do this. And then you're like, but I probably shouldn't have. And so I'm in a space now where I'm using wisdom with how I'm moving. I'm using wisdom with all the things, right? And so, I just am. And so I want to encourage you to do that, right? Just because you can doesn't mean that you should. Right? Sometimes we think, well, I can do it. You can, but you shouldn't. You need that energy for something else. You need that capacity for something else, right? You sometimes just need that for you. And so be mindful of that. Be mindful of all of that. Um because again, sometimes you can do a thing, but you probably shouldn't. And so I probably won't do the Know Your Limit masterclass again, but I feel like what I shared is enough to like, honey, we talked, it was good this time. And so if you missed it, like I said, I will probably talk more about that this week as well, letting folks know that they can get access to the replay and just sharing that if that's something that they're dealing with, and they could just it's $47. I've already done it. They can go get the replay, take notes, and do whatever they need to with it, right? um and that's basically where we are right now. So tomorrow's conversation is what surprised me about these 30 days, and then we go into a celebration on day 30. So I am 1 minute over my time. I wanted to stay for 45 minutes. And, this one may not have been as, exciting as all of the others, but I think it gives you an opportunity to see where you can get in and fit in with me. One of the things that I also didn't talk about that I'm also doing is private coaching, right? And so I have strategy sessions, one-on-one strategy sessions. And those are like one-off strategy sessions, right? So like you can't just be booking strategy sessions every single month, right? I normally limit them to once a quarter. Because if you booking them like that, then you need to get into coaching, right? So that we can actually work together and put a plan together and all of that. And so my 90-minute strategy session is 500. My 45-minute strategy session is 250. And my one-on-one coaching for 3 months starts at 5,000. So if that's something that you're interested in as well, if you're a part of my inner circle, they get, again, discounts on certain things in the strategy sessions, not private coaching, but strategy sessions are one of the things that they get discounts on. And so if you're in the inner circle and you want access, let me know what that, and I'll send you the code and you can book a session with me. So I'm going to go because I want to rest before I go to church tonight and just kind of settle myself. Because I am still tired. And I will see y'all first thing tomorrow morning for day 29. I can't just child. Like this time has gone by like so, so, so fast. And I definitely have lots to share tomorrow about what surprised me, what I've learned, like all the things. And so you all have an amazing day. Make sure y'all go to church. Make sure you get you some cheeses, right? If you're not a Christian, have a great Sunday. Go to brunch, child. Have you a mimosa. Pray still, right? But yes, but thank you so much, Romilda. Thank y'all for joining me today. Thank y'all for hanging out. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care.